Okay, I think we're good. All right, it's Wednesday. The week marches on. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's all sit up nice and tall. Shoulders down and back. Find a comfortable position with your hands on your knees. Just close your eyes. Take stock of where your mind is at. Where your body is at. And listen to your breathing. And as you're here, start to deepen that breathing, because we all shallow breathe during most of the day, or many of us do. And we forget to really fill up our lungs fully. And start to breathe with intention. Inhale, you can exhale audibly. All right, we're gonna get started now. So our focus is really on our mat. So other thoughts might come in, but like we think about meditation, we can say hello to those thoughts, but not stay with them, and try and stay here in the now with what we're doing with our bodies. Very hard, but to be in the moment is a good goal. So let's open our eyes. Let's bring our hands to heart center. Bring them on up. Sit nice and tall and take the arms out. And drop them onto the mat. Let's take one arm up. Take a nice inhale. Bring yourself out into a nice stretch. Let's open up our shoulder towards the sky. Bring the arm back. And then come back up to the top. Take our other arm up. With a nice inhale. Gently stretch over to the side. Walk those fingers out. Open up. And then take yourself up. Let's put our hands on our thighs. We're sitting up nice and straight right now. And turn to the side to help the visual. What we're going to do is take an exhale and scoop in to round our back. And then inhale back up to a tall seated position. Let's do that 2 more times. Scoop. And up. Exhale and scoop back. Inhale and come back up. I'm just turning so that you can see the optimal angle. You can just stay where you are. We're gonna engage our spine a little bit in a twist. Excuse me. So gently take one hand behind you. Take the other hand. You can leave it on your ankle and twist to the back. Thinking nice and long as you make that twist. Inhale and come back to the center. Let's go to the other side. Take the hand back gently and twist. and come back to the center. We're going to gently shift into our all fours position. Reminders that your shoulders and wrists should be in a straight line, as should your knees and your hips. And we're going to awaken our back a bit more and stretch out our abs with some cat and cow. So we're going to breathe in as we look up and arch, and then exhale as we round. Take a few of these at whatever pace feels good for you, whether that's a fast rhythm or a slow rhythm. Now let's come to a neutral on our next, let's move forward just in case, on our next rep. And we're going to gently tuck the toes and push our hips backward into a down dog. While you're here, reminders, try and keep your shoulders from hanging out near your ears. Head in line with arms. Feet pressing down towards the floor, but they may not touch. And thinking about your torso pushing towards your legs, so you're really feeling those hamstrings quite engaged. Pedal the feet. Get some movement. Let's come down into a plank. Slowly lower to the floor. Untuck the toes. Take your forearms so that they are in line with your shoulders. Gently press up into a baby cobra. So we don't have to go far, and we're using our arms to help support us here. Shoulders down and back. Lower. And gently push yourself back into a downward facing dog. Checking that you've got the weight evenly on all parts of your hand. I know that's sort of maybe not always intuitive. Let's gently lift one leg up. I always forget that I'm going to hit my sofa. Bring that knee in towards your nose and come into a low lunge. Knee over that ankle. And let's just feel that stretch for a little bit. Take the same arm as leg up to the sky. Take a little twist. Take it down. Drop the back knee. And drop the toes as well. Sit on up straight. And then take the arms up with a little bit of a back bend. And now push forward a bit to open up and really feel engagement into those hip flexors. Gently lower down. Tuck the toes again. Back to your plank. And then if you'd like to go down through chaturanga into like an upward dog, feel free. Or if you want to just go back to downward dog and take it a little bit gentler, that is also great. Once you're here, take a nice inhale, lift the other leg up. Send it towards your nose and bring it down into a lunge on the other leg. And just feel the stretch. Take the same arm as leg and lift it towards the sky with a nice twist as you inhale. Bring that arm down. Let's gently drop our knee and untuck those toes. And then sit on up. Take those arms up to the sky. A slight and backwards in our upper back. Shoulders down and away from the ears. And now let's push forward a little bit through to stretch our hip flexors. Give them a nice stretch. Take the hands down. Let's lift the toe. Let's all gently come to plank. This time we're all going to lower to the ground. Untuck the toes. Take one leg and bring it towards your glute. Just to start engaging and warming that up. And now grab onto that foot to stretch out the quad a little bit more directly. Gently lower. Let's take the other leg and send it in a bent fashion towards the glute. And then take the hand and stretch it out. Send it on down. Let's take the legs out a little bit. So a little bit about as wide as your mat. And we're going to take the feet up so the soles of your feet are touching. And then you're just going to let your knees drop, and we're going to feel a stretch here. Like our frog. And just breathe, and we'll let gravity sink those legs. Let's gently take them down and close them in a little bit. We're going to take our hands behind us with our palms facing up. And we're going to rise a little bit for locust. So you're going to rise up and out. And breathe, shoulders down. Lengthening in that back. You can decide how far up feels right. You don't have to go as far. You can stay at a lower amount, wherever you feel like you can control and have good form. And lower. Let's gently take ourselves and put our hands beneath our shoulders. Push ourselves back on our knees into a child's pose. So feeling yourself pressing into those heels, those arms nice and long in front of you, and a nice round in your back. And forehead. Take one of your hands, flip the palm over, bring it right to chest level, and gently send it under to the other side to stretch out and thread the needle. As you hold the pose, make sure you're breathing through the pose and not sort of holding that breath. Make sure that you're actually actively inhaling and exhaling. Gently send that hand back where it came and then out to match the other one. Let's take the other side. So gently send that hand towards you. Flip it so the palm is facing up and send it under your chest level to the other side. Okay, let's send it back. And we are going to tuck the toes now, come into a downward dog, and then we're gonna gently walk the feet in or step the feet up to match with the hands. So you should be at the front of your mat. I'm gonna just step myself a little forward so that I'm closer to the front of my mat. Take your feet in so that your big toes are touching and your heels are separate, and relax into a forward fold. If you have very tight hamstrings, it might help if you just bend your knees just a little bit. Either way, you don't need to lock them. You don't want them like hyperextended over locked. So a little bend is always great. Just hang here for a moment. Let's rise up halfway to a flat back. Exhale down. Halfway to a flat back. And now let's come all the way up, either supporting ourselves with our thighs or taking the arms up. If you're holding onto your thighs, now take the arms up with you, all the way to the sky. And bring them back down. Let's stand nice and tall, mountain pose. And let's lower back into chair pose. So sending myself back, weight on my heels, arms up by the ears. I don't know if you can see me because the camera doesn't seem to capture everything. Maybe that's better, it's a little better. So again, way down into chair pose. weight is mostly on those heels. If you look down, you should still be able to see your toes. Gently let yourself fall forward, back into your forward bend. Let's do one more chair pose. So bend those knees and come back into chair. Gently lower, back down. Now we're gonna actually find ourselves in a seated position. And we're gonna come into a boat pose, half boat. So this is gonna get our core waking up. You can come here. If that feels like a lot, you could drop both of your feet and just have your toes touching. Or you could take it to having one leg raised or the other leg raised. Whatever version feels good for you. Let's come down. Let's gently lower ourselves to the floor, one vertebrae at a time. Take the arms back. Stretch nice and long, feel that whole body elongate. But now we're gonna go back into boat, so it's a little more challenging to get there. So we're gonna lift ourselves up into our boat. And hold. Make sure you're still breathing. Bring those legs down. And let's take ourselves into a butterfly. So nice and tall. Let's take a moment and sort of do what we did at the beginning, where we bend, scoop in, come to seated, nice and tall. Scoop in, come back to our seated place. And then we are going to hinge from the hips, not from the upper back. So what I mean by that is hinging forward from the hips versus rounding the upper back. So that's the difference. We're gonna hinge forward. I'm gonna take my hands forward just to help encourage me not to do this. Hinge forward with a nice flat back until you start to feel some engagement and stretch in your inner thighs. At that point, when you're feeling a stretch, now round and come down into that nice stretch. Gently come on up. And let's go back and lower ourselves with control to the ground. So we're taking this as a nice controlled movement. Let's bring our knees in straight, about hip width apart. And we're gonna rise up into bridge. Think about each vertebrae rising slowly, like it's a caterpillar kind of like undulating, as you press into the heels to take yourself up. And squeeze at the top. Gently lower down, vertebrae by vertebrae, in the reverse way that you came up. Let's do that one more time. Take a nice inhale and slowly, actually I was a bad example. I'm gonna slowly rise more vertebrae by vertebrae. One more, bit by bit. And breathe while you're up here. And gently lower down again, piece by piece. And relax. Let's give our glutes some love, give them a nice stretch. So take your ankle on top of that thigh, grab the thigh and pull it towards you to feel some stretch in your glute muscles. This is like a variant similar to pigeon, just in a different plane of being. Let's take that down and reverse to the other leg. Ankle right on top of thigh and pull that towards you. Take it on down. Let's bring our arms out to the sides. Legs to tabletop. And send them over to one side to get a nice twist in that back. And look away from those legs. Take a nice inhale. Bring those legs back up top. Send them the other way. And look away from those legs again. Let's bring the legs back. Gently lower them down. And find yourself in a comfortable Shavasana. Legs can spread open if that's their natural tendency to flip open. Hands down by the side. Close your eyes here. Focus on your breathing. If any thoughts come into your mind that are disrupting this, it's okay. Just try not to focus on them. I know for myself, often when I'm in Shavasana, I feel my to-do list creeping in my head, and that this stops being relaxing and actually starts being quite stressful. So I know how hard it is. So if you do feel that happening, try and focus yourself and remind yourself of where your body is right now, that you're still in this moment, and that moment will come after. But for now, you are choosing to be here on the mat, focusing on your breathing, and that stuff can wait. Let the mat support you. Your whole body is sinking in. okay to rely on something else to help. Gently invite some movement in that stillness with your feet and toes, your fingers and toes. And gently roll over onto your right side. In a bit of a cocoon. When you're ready, gently take your top arm and use it to push yourself to a seated position. Take the arms up above your head. Wonderful. And take them down. Press your head into your heart center. Take a nice inhale. Nice audible exhale. One more. Thank you all so much. Namaste. Try and stay in the moment throughout the day, even as things get busy. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and see you all hopefully next time.